All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Josh Freemeyer. But before we get to that, guys, DE is upon us. Make your way down to DE. It is going to be a party. We are ready next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, August 11th through the 14th in Hotlanta. It's going to be hot there. You won't want to miss it. Then we're back in Atlanta in October in just 2 short months. Then January, we head to the great state of Florida, my state, for Clearwater. And then we wrap it up in Sarasota in April. But August, DE is upon us, guys. There's still time. We were just making flight plans for my wife tonight. She just decided today we found some sitters for the kids, and Laura is coming to DE, so we just booked a flight, and you can still do it right now. So even if you're not signed up, get signed up. We would love to have you at DE. We had the big schedule reveal a few weeks ago, which we got to interview a lot of our great guests. We've got some incredible speakers going to be at this one, guys. You do not want to miss DE in Atlanta at the Marietta Northwest Marriott. Get with Kat if you need a hotel room, need plans. We'd love to see you there at Dynamic Essentials. And then we a little bit of FCS news, since we are. I am the part of the Florida Chiropractic Society, but our board met this weekend, and we had some exciting changes. The Dr. Eddie Martinez, who served for 4 wonderful years as our FCS president, termed out. So he had to move on from being president, and the board elected me their next president. And thank you for all the wonderful well wishes. But more importantly, why I'm bringing this up is because we elected a new vice president. And that's our speaker tonight. Josh has been a rising star, not just in Florida and with the Florida Chiropractic Society, but he's an incredible, incredible guy, family man. He's got a wonderful wife, Jenny, 4 great kids, and he's a rising star in this profession. Incredible upper cervical practitioner in Winter Garden, Florida, and I'm super excited to have Josh as our new vice president for the FCS. So without further ado, a 2012 graduate from Palmer, Florida. Get ready, guys. Give it up for Dr. Josh Freemeyer. Take it away, brother.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Brian. It's really an honor and a privilege to get to talk with all y'all tonight. And it's an honor and a privilege to get to live this chiropractic life and to serve, really, and to share my life in this. And so, I'm really excited to be here. When Brian asked me to do this talk and, just share some of my life and share some of the stuff that we've done, all sorts of stuff came to mind. But really, I just want to tell you a little bit who I am, what we're doing here in Florida, how I got to be here, and how DE has really impacted my life, and especially in my professional life. And so when we talk about who am I, Dr. Josh Freemeyer, I grew up in Colorado, moved to Florida when I was in high school. Graduated high school here, went away to college, played football for a couple of years, and then moved back and graduated from UCF, Go Knights. And from that time on, when I was at UCF, I decided I wanted to go to chiropractic school. Decided that after looking into osteopathy and different professional paths, but I came across the principles of chiropractic. I came across somebody's website, was looking at chiropractic. I really wanted to help people, wanted to be a doctor. And so I found the principles. The 33 principles of chiropractic are what give us the foundation for what we do in our profession. And it was amazing when I read those and it just clicked. So registered, went to Palmer, Florida. And when I got there, it really wasn't what I expected. Those principles weren't shining everywhere like I expected them to be. Um, but I found a group of people. I found a group of guys, a group of students, and we all began to walk this path together. And so in about sixth quarter, I went to my first DE. And really in DE, that's where the lights turned on. That's where everything opened up, and I learned what chiropractic was. And so it was life changing. My first DE when I was in sixth quarter. Didn't miss a DE while I was in school. While I was in school, I had two of my kids. And so just an amazing path that led me into chiropractic. I get the honor to practice with Dr. Alex Lepatnik. I know you guys heard him a little bit, or probably a couple months ago. But he and I have practiced together since day one. We opened up our own practice, following the principles that we learned at DE. Expected big things, and really it's been a walk that took some of those, some faith to get to those big things. And so we're blessed to be doing what we do now. But I really turned towards chiropractic because I had issues from playing football, got injured. And I never really had what I believe to be my first chiropractic adjustment until I was in chiropractic school and got adjusted knee, chest, upper cervical, and it changed my life. So we do practice knee, chest. We also take care of families. I have gone through ICPA training, taking care of kids. But it was really that message in DE, the give, love, and serve, that changed my life and really directed my path. And so tonight, what I really want to talk about is serving. You know, we talk about the give, we talk about the love, but how do we serve, and how do we serve effectively in what we're doing? And so one thing I've learned along the way, when you're serving, you kind of have to let go of the end result. We know when we give, love, and serve out of our own abundance with no expectation of return, that service will go further than we can imagine. And so when we let go of the end result, it allows us to serve freely. And a lot of people make goals. I make goals, but sometimes we can get distracted by our goals. We can focus so far in the future and so far ahead of ourselves that we lose sight of where we're at and what we're doing, and really the people around us. And so, what I've learned in that and learned in this process is to really slow down and look at the things around you, look at the process, look at the people you're working with. I watched a movie with my girls the other day, and it may bring back memories for some folks, but Dennis the Menace. And some people have seen it, some people haven't, but there's a gentleman, George Wilson. He's Mr. Wilson to Dennis. But in that movie, George planted a seed, and it took him 40 years working with that plant, watering, weeding, taking care of it, serving it, right? And the whole point of this one plant is it bloomed one time at the full moon in the middle of some special time, right? But as soon as it bloomed, its splendor is revealed and withered away. And I think, in the same way, that's the way a lot of the goals we have are. If we focus on that one moment, right? Like in the movie, he misses that moment because something distracts him and he gets away from it. And he comes to realize in the end of that movie that the process was more important, and that he was ignoring things and people and relationships that he could have focused on, that he spent focusing on that end goal. And so just a fun example, but I think it's a great thing for us to really use that metaphor and talk about the potential of that flower, the potential of that seed, right? And how we nurture that along the process so that we can continue doing it. We don't necessarily need to be busy digging in the weeds so much that we're unable to see what God's doing in our life. I think about it kind of like waiting tables, right? Sometimes we have so much stuff we're doing, so many things going on, that if we don't, sometimes pass off a table, right, it doesn't allow us to succeed, and it doesn't allow us to even to thrive and to to meet our potential. And that kind of comes back to humility. And that was a big thing at DE for me the last time, is really thinking about humility. What does it mean to be humble? Because it's really not about us. But I had my pastor who did a series, and he talked about it, and what he said, he's like, being humble doesn't mean you have to ignore or think less of yourself, but it's really thinking less about yourself. Because if we think less about ourselves and we start focusing on how powerful God made us and all that He gave us to do, then we can really get some things done. Great example is, Brian said it, just got elected the vice president of the Florida Chiropractic Society. This weekend, we're doing a retreat where we're going to sit down and we're going to hash out what it means to grow chiropractic in the state of Florida. If you're not a member of the FCS, look us up, join us. Even if you don't live in the state of Florida, we have out-of-state memberships. We'd love to have your support, because we're going to charge forward to take principled chiropractic to the next level, so everybody can know and have the ability and the knowledge to see a principled chiropractor. And in that process, I'm coach. I have 4 kids. So my son's 13. I have 3 daughters after that, a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and amazing kids. But we get busy, right? There's lots of stuff going on, and we try in our family not to, focus on the busyness, because really all that busyness has a purpose. And sometimes when we make decisions about what direction to go, we think about, okay, so I can either do this or I can do that. When in reality, I believe we can say both and. If we focus on the things that, or the power really that God gave us inside our bodies to take on things. My father-in-law used to always say, as a husband, God gave you big shoulders, so you could take on more. But I believe, with innate intelligence and the power that God put inside us, we can give 100% in more than one thing. We just have to focus on that one thing while we're doing it. So I can coach on Saturday, or Friday, and be at a board meeting on Saturday and give 100% where I'm at. And if you're focused and present, I saw Haig mention that, being present in the moment and where you're at with your patients, with your family, in your service, I believe that's true service, right? When you pour yourself out, and my life verse, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and Romans 12:1 says, therefore, brother, in view of God's mercy, offer your body as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing. This is your spiritual act of worship, right? And so our lives become how we pour into our relationships. And that's really how we show value and how we show where our goals are at and what our purpose is. And so, like I said, an amazing experience, and an amazing life we have as chiropractors. And don't get distracted by the far future. Pay attention to where you're at. Love those around you. Serve well. And really love. I love you guys, and I appreciate it. Don't really have a lot else for you tonight. Those are the things that were on my heart, and I appreciate the ability to come and do this, and hope you guys have an amazing night, and we'll talk to you another time.
Josh, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Dude, you did a great job, man. Short, sweet, to the point, concise, and you nailed it, man. And I'm seeing at the bottom a ton of support for you scrolling by. Everybody's really excited that you're our new vice president, as am I. So great job tonight on the call, brother.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
And I will see you this weekend at our big FCS board retreat. We're getting together, guys. Long weekend to see how we can change chiropractic for the better. So get ready.
Absolutely.
I'm pumped.
Love it.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh, for being our speaker. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in on the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast. We will see you next week, guys. It'll be DE week, and we will kick it off right here on Tuesday night. I think it's Darcy Anderson is going to be our speaker. So we will see you guys then. Take care. Have a great night, everyone.
Awesome.